We know that a moving object can be stopped by applying a force in a direction opposite to the moving object. It means when we push an object, it stopped after covering some distance. There must be a force acting on the object in a direction opposite to the moving object. This force is the force of friction. Now we perform the second activity, which shows that force of friction is increased by increasing the weight of moving object. For it, we take a half-filled bucket and place it on the smooth surface. Now we push this half-filled bucket and observe force is applied. Now we take a fully filled bucket and push it and observe. We apply the more force to move this bucket. It shows that force of friction increased by increasing the weight of moving object. Now we place the fully filled bucket on the rough surface and try to push it. We observe more force is required to move the fully filled bucket on the rough surface. It shows that force of friction is increased by increasing the roughness. Now we perform an activity which shows that rolling friction is less than the sliding friction. For this activity, we take a mobile phone, one charger and connected lead which connect the mobile phone and charger. For this activity, we take a heavy charger and one round bottle which is placed at the end of the table act as a pulley. Now we hang the chargers and observe. We observe phone is easily slide on the table. Now we place the same phone on the round pens and we take a charger which is less heavy than the previous one. Now we hang the same chargers on the table and observe. We observe now the mobile phone is moved easily from the one end of the table to the other. It shows that rolling friction is less than the sliding. Now we perform the another activity in which we push a heavy cylinder. When we push it, we observe that at the start we apply the more force. When it starts sliding, we apply the less force. Now observe. Now we roll the same cylinder. Now we observe that there is a less force required to rolling the cylinder. Cylinder is easily moved from the one place to the another. So this activity shows that rolling friction is very less than the sliding friction. Friction enables us to write on the blackboard. When we write on the blackboard, dust particles stick to the chalk surface due to its roughness. So friction helps us to write. Friction enables us to write on the white paper. Ink particles of pen stick to the rough surface of paper. On laminated paper, we are not write with a simple pen. For the writing on the laminated paper, we take a special pen which have the rough tip. So this tip has a more friction value. Now we write on the laminated paper. So it is a easily write. Friction helps us to ignite a matchsticks. When we rub the chemical attached at the tip of the matchstick with the rough surface of the matchbox, due to the friction, it produces so much heat, the chemical attached to the matchstick start burning. Friction of the hand help to hold the things. So we pick the glass safely with your hand. If we hold the glass with the oil on our hand, now observe what happens. It can slip from our hand. Now friction is less between our hands and glass, so glass is slip from our hands. Friction helps us to walk. When we walk, we push the ground in backward directions. That is action. Due to the friction, we get the reaction force to move in the forward direction. If friction is absent, we are not able to walk. Whenever we walk, we prefer to wear a shoes or footwear have the proper sole as shown in the videos. These soles have the groove which increase the friction. If we wear this type of footwear which have the flat sole, there is chances of slipping when we walk on the wet floor. We are using the ball bearing machine to reduce the friction. Ball bearing converts the sliding friction into the rolling, which has the least value. Bearing increase the speed of the movement of the machine. We are using the oil as a lubricant in a machine to reduce the friction. Machine friction. Game of carrom board, we are using the powder as a lubricant which reduce the friction between the striker and board, so striker moves on the board very smoothly. Fluid friction depends upon the shape of the moving object. To prove it, we take a paper plane. We observe that paper plane has the sharp front end which is same as like the jet plane. This sharp front end cut the air and reduce the fluid friction. Now we take the two paper of the same size and the same material. Now we take the one paper and crumpled in the shape of ball. Now we release both the papers from the same height at the same time. So we observe that the ball shaped paper reaches the ground first and simple paper piece reach afterward. It is because surface area of a plain sheet of paper is more, so it experiences more fluid frictions. Fluid friction depends upon the nature of fluid. To prove it, we take the two liquid in the two glasses. In the one glass there is a water, in the other glass there is a vegetable oils. They have the same quantity. We take the two pulses of the same size, not drop into the given glass. Now we drop both the pulses in their respective glass at the same time, and we observe that pulse in the oil takes more time to reach the bottom of the glass. It is because oil offers a more fluid friction. Fluid friction depends upon the speed of the moving object with respect to the fluid. If we are playing the game of badminton in open, we observe that the shuttle movement is affected by the air resistance. If the shuttle is moving in the direction of the air movement, its speed is increased, and its speed is decreased if it is moving in the direction opposite to the air movement. In both cases, shuttle is strike with the same force. In the same way, it is easy to cycling in the direction of the wind blowing, and it is difficult to cycling in the direction opposite to the wind blowing due to the fluid friction.